Many couples start their marriage with sparks, the butterflies in the tummy, the late night giggles, but as time goes on, the fire seems to go dim and all the sparks seems to be on the lower side. Let's be honest with ourselves. Many couples really don't like speaking about these kind of things, but it do happen to us. We do feel it. We do pass through that phase in our marriages. The moment when your marriage feels more like that of roommates than that of lovers, when hugs become just like an ordinary handshake, and then good night is just a goodbye until the following morning. So every marriage we pass through that stage. It is true that when two people get married, initially everything feels new, the body is new, the emotions is new, the connection, the passion, the chemistry. But when life begins to happen, when so many things begin to happen, when responsibility begins to creep in, life begins to pile up. You have the bills there to settle, you have work, you have children, you have bills, you have so many schedules and so many routines. The thing that will happen next is that intimacy will now move from that place of priority to the place of afterthoughts. It happens in every marriage, it happens in every relationship. Sometimes it is not maybe love has faded or love has gone or it has been buried. The only thing that happens is that the love and the sparks has been buried under some pressure, some fatigue, and then routine. So, and before you know it, passion turns into patterns and the connection will just turn into cohabitation. So in this episode today, I just want us to talk about sexual intimacy and why it fades in marriage and what can be done to activate it, to reactivate it. What can we possibly do to make it go back? At least if it do not go back to the level where it was before, at least to jack it up a bit. So we'll be looking at the causes, the reasons nobody actually talks about. They are very, very common, but people don't like talking about it. So we'll be bringing it to you, to your screen today by the grace of God. Yes, these are the things I have seen, that I have been through. I have heard about it over and over again in counseling sections. You might actually find yourself in these regards. You might find yourself in the pictures I'm about to print before you, to paint before you, as to the reason, the causes why intimacy decline in marriage over the years. First, emotional disconnection, emotional distance. Let me just tell you about this, that you cannot feel close to somebody you no longer talk to. The problem is that many couples have disengaged. They have disconnected from themselves emotionally before it even began. So when there is no real communication, no more vulnerability during the day, you can't expect connection at night. When communication dies, connection also dies. You cannot touch what you don't talk to. That is just it. So you can't desire who you constantly drain emotionally. So today you will need to change and get involved. You will have to start talking deeply again so that you can reactivate. Second, unresolved offenses, unhealed hurt. This is very common, like my gender, the female gender. We have a lot of bitterness, and then you don't really understand that such bitterness is a silent bedroom killer. When the heart are no longer connected, when it is hot, then the body will definitely withdraw. So sex without peace feels like performance and not passion. So you can't be naked with someone you don't trust emotionally. So if your spouse has hurt you, talk it out, forgive and then heal. Bitterness will definitely shut down desires faster than anything. So that is the reason why there is no more spark in your bedroom, because bitterness has taken over. Third is busyness and fatigue. Life gets so noisy. What about the jobs, the kids? What about the deadlines at work? Most of the time, couples, they really forget intimacy. It is true that life gets busy. It becomes noisy. But we shouldn't forget the fact that intimacy requires intentionality. Love doesn't survive on autopilot. No. Some couples are simply tired and then they forget about themselves. They forget what it means to be passionate. Both of them are running on 5% battery level. So how would they be able to connect? So everybody is just crashing in the bed and nobody have time for the other one. So you should please take a break and then rest, or plan couple time together. Be intentional about it, not just when we have the time, but you are to make out the time. Fourth Spiritual neglect. When couples stop praying together, they stop praising together, they stop worshiping God together, they don't attend functions together, they virtually do nothing together. So there is a spiritual bond that fuels the emotional and physical closeness in marriage. So when that breaks, desires naturally fails. And don't forget that God is actually the originator of all of this. So when you serve God together as couples, it has a way of making the bond stronger. So when there is a spiritual neglect, I can tell you that desires dies naturally in our marriages. Fifth, comparison and distraction. What about the social media distraction, the pornography, or even admiring others that can corrupt your contentment? So you have seen a lot of things on the internet, you have seen a lot of pornography pictures, you have seen a lot of fine babes, and then your contentment is already very low. So I have come across a particular couple. The wife said, okay, my husband is no longer interested in me, he's requesting for a so-so style. Probably he must have fed his mind with all those styles through pornography. Those images aren't real. Those actions are not real actions. They are all performance for the cameras. So when all of these things that we have seen has corrupted our mind, has corrupted our intimacy with our significant other, then things begin to change. Do you know that when the mind is divided, your passion will become diluted? So when you divide your passion, when you divide your mind with so many other things that you have seen all around you, then your own passion for your significant other will definitely become diluted. And then you realize that you no longer have strong desires for your significant other. It is because of all those distractions and you trying to compare your significant other with another thing, or you try to objectify your significant other. This is a very cogent point that we should watch out for in our marriages. Some of these desires, some of this comparison and distraction can actually put some of our men or women in an unsatiable circumstances. Their spouse will no longer satisfy them because they already have an image created on their mind, which is actually not fact, which is not real. I've been able to bring some of those points to you. So what do we do then? How do we bring the spark back? Please start small, touch more, compliment often, laugh together again, create intentional moments together, like the date night, the road trips, take a walk together, simple walks together, communicate together, communicate your needs. Don't expect your partner to just read your mind, since your significant other is not a mind reader. Open up, communicate, speak up, pray together, worship God together. When couples pray together, hearts soften. There is a way that the Spirit of God will help you to soften the hardened heart. Heal together. Go for counseling if there is need. Go for mentorship if it is needed. Get your strength back. Get your sparks back. Get back your connection. As you are listening to this, if the fire in your marriage feels low, don't panic. There is no need for you to panic. Fire fades sometimes if it is not well fed. So all you just have to do is to start feeding your love again with time, with kindness, with laughter, and then prayer. And I really want you to remember that intimacy doesn't die naturally. It fades when we stop to feed it, when we stop to be intentional about it. So you are to go home today. Go home today, sir. Go home today, madam. Go and talk. Have a long talk with your significant other. Laugh together, touch each other, and pray together, because marriage without intimacy is just like a lamp without oil. It cannot shine for a very long time. So keep your fire burning. Don't forget that marriage is God's idea, and so also is intimacy. So keep the fire burning in God's way, in God's manner. My name is Helen, the convener of Marriage on the Rock and Singles with Purpose. Thank you so much for your time. Your home is blessed.